piece of steel I'm going to be using for this build is a piece that's 1/4 inch thick, 15 inches wide, and 20 inches long. Okay, this is the piece of paper I'm going to be using for the template. I can't really give you any specific measurements because everybody's head is shaped differently, but I can tell you that I went from the tip of my forehead to the tip of my nose, then from there I went an inch past my chin, then went to the back of my jaw, which stops right here, then just went an inch past that, curved it back in, and then right here is just before my ear. And then I angled it back by a variation of a 1/2 inch and then came back into a point. I did this on a folded piece of paper, so when I open it, this is the template that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to cut the eyes out, but I'm going to mark where they are so that the paint doesn't get scratched off and I forget where they go. Okay, it took me about 2 hours to cut out because 1/4 inch does not like to be cut one bit. But now that it is cut out, what I'm going to do is draw a straight line from this corner all the way up to the tip of the mask, and then I measured in 2.5 inches on both these sides right here. And then at that point I'm going to draw a straight line up to the corner here. Then on those 3 points I'm going to score it with the angle grinder so it bends there. And I'm going to bend it to get it into a 3D shape. If I can't do that, I'm going to cut the whole thing in half and then pop rivet it together. I'm also going to score the temple guards in case I decide to bend those as well. Now I'm going to flip the mask upside down, line it up with the corner of the table, and try and beat it down with a hammer. Okay, it's bending, but it's bending pretty slow, so to speed up the process, I just decided to cut with the angle grinder up till about here, and then do the same thing from here till about here. Okay, now that it's at the angle that I wanted, I'm going to cut 2 relief cuts in the top and bottom of the temple guard so that it bends in easier. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And then for the jaw guard, I'm going to cut in about halfway and then bend them inward. I'm going to score the jaw guard now because I forgot to do that earlier. Okay, so the mask started forming a hairline crack right up the bridge of the nose. So I figured it'd be a little bit too weak, so I just cut it all the way in half, and I made these 3 custom straps for it. They're going to go over the front, and then I'm going to pop rivet them on. I didn't show all that drilling though, because I figured it'd be a little bit boring, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna take apart these sunglasses and use the lenses for the eyes. It's not bulletproof, but I think it'll look pretty good. Before I put the lenses in, I'm gonna paint it, and then after that I'll probably line it with either foam or leather. I haven't really decided yet. For the lining, I'm going to use 1/4 inch foam board, and I just use the same paper template that I used to cut the steel out. So my original plan with the mask was to shoot it when I was all done with it. But after seeing how much work it actually took to build it, I just can't bring myself to shoot it. So what I'm going to do is shoot the piece of steel I cut the mask from. I do realize that the mask has more weak points than this piece of steel. The mask has the seam that connects it, the straps holding it together, and also the eye holes. But this will give me a really good idea of what would happen if I got a direct hit from a bullet on the mask. Yeah, there's no way a .22 would ever even come close to damaging that thing. It didn't even scratch the steel. And if you're wondering about ricochets, the plate is actually angled, kind of like one of the sides on the mask. And most bullets will actually deform and just fall off the mask upon contact with something like this. As far as penetration, it scratched it pretty good, but I still don't see a bulge. And it really actually didn't do too much. Okay, the last gun I'll be testing is a .223. Out of all the guns, this one has the best chance of going through because the bullets are moving fast and they're really small, so they have a very low surface area. And I'll be using bullets with a full metal jacket. These don't expand as much, so they stay together more, which means more penetration. Okay, so here's the .22, here's the 9mm, and there's the .223. Let's just say that it's not gonna stop at .223, but I'm pretty happy that it stopped up to a 9mm. That's pretty decent. I think real body armor that's 1/4 inch translates to like a level 1, which basically means it'll stop a pistol caliber. And I think this is about the same way, considering that the rifle round zip through, and a .223 isn't really even that big a round. There are a lot bigger rifle rounds. I think this would stop most pistol calibers except for maybe like a 464 or a 500 Smith & Wesson, obviously. So anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed building it, and I'll get back with you on another build just as soon as I can find something else that'll make my parents nervous.